like I told you that I'll discuss about div and span and CSS on div and span. After that, what did I say? Mm, yeah, margin and padding. These three topics I'll be discussing today. Um, Getting back into our Visual Studio Code, this is a boilerplate of HTML code, and here first we'll discuss like what is div. Div is nothing but like uh, it is like a container, guys. It's like a container which groups multiple elements. So grouping is nothing but it is like you can just compare it like it is like a jar containing different eatables in it. And also it is not particular that all the elements in the division tag should be of same type. It can be a p tag, it can be a heading tag, it can be an image, it can be an audio tag or video tag. So it can contain any tags of any type. Div means division. Like it is used for partitioning your web page into different divisions. So that is the meaning of div tag. It contains groups of multiple elements, and it is heterogeneous. Contains heterogeneous. Heterogeneous means I think you know what is heterogeneous. Like it can contain like any type of elements. There is no particularity that all the elements in a div tag should be of same type. Like it can have like a p tag or image tag or a tag or h3 or h4. It can have groups of all these things. So this is all about the division tag. So so this is, yeah. Since I explained you about it, let's like make some CSS on it. So the closing and opening tags, div is a pair tag. So it will have a closing tag, it will have an opening tag and a closing tag. And what are those opening and closing tags? Opening tag is div, and the closing tag is slash div. And one important point about div is it is block level tag. I'll explain you what is meant by block level. Yeah, now let us do some coding. If you just write div in Visual Studio Code and press enter, you'll be getting the opening and closing tags. And let us do some like put some lorem 100. This is the text. Let us open it in live server. And here you got the text. This is the text. Now what happens is, let us do some styling. Let us do the inline styling for this. BG color as aquamarine. Now here you are like getting the background color for the whole text. Like for everything that you write here, you'll be getting the background color. So let us like give a p tag, and let's say this is p. Did you see this? So we are not like, we did not apply background color for this p, but instead we have applied background color for the outer div, and we got the color displayed here for the p tag also. This is the use of like div tag. And one more thing is that like you can add anything here, as I told, image tag. um you can see like this tree image is not coming right. Let us click some alt text image. Since the image is not being displayed, there is some problem. So if there is some problem, the alternate text will be displayed here. And this alt is called as an attribute of image tag. So here, one thing you should observe is that the CSS for the div will be applied to all the elements inside it. CSS of the div will be applied to all the elements in it. That is one property. And coming to the next property, I told it is block level, right? Now let me remove this content and let me put, this is content of div. This is p in div. This is image in div. Now if you see here, what is happening? What is happening for this div? Like if you can see, the content is only till here, right? But the color is being applied to the whole line, to the whole width of the page. The sentence is still here, but the color is being applied to the whole page, like the whole width of the div. So that is meant by block. So if you write any sentence, the space of the div will not be like limited to the size of the sentence, but instead it will take the whole width of the page. That is meant by block level. Everything you write in a div is a like takes a block size. Now this is a block. This blue color thing is a block. And if you write another div, it will be a block. Let me write another div. And let me change the color. So this is another div. This is one div, this is another div. But the thing is, it is taking block size. So this block will be followed by this block. The whole width of the page will be considered. That is meant by block level tag. That is about div. So the next is span. Span is also similar to div, guys. Span is also similar to div, but what happens is, the difference is, it's also used for like grouping of elements. It is also a container which groups multiple elements, and it is also heterogeneous. It also has opening and closing tag. All these properties are similar. Opening tag is span, closing tag is slash span, and it's also same. Like the properties are same. Like the CSS of the span will be applied to all the elements. elements in it. But one thing that changes here is it is inline level. It's an inline tag, which means that here for a div tag, when we write like some small sentence, it is, even if we write a small sentence, it is taking the whole width of the page. But span, what it does is it does not take the whole page of the size. Instead, it will limit to the length of the sentence. Like it will end here. The block ends here. Let us experiment it. So let's write a span tag, and let's comment this. For commenting, just select the text and press Ctrl plus slash. All the content goes away. The comments will not be executed, guys. Now let us write some lorem 20 like 100. It's also the same as like the div tag without any styling. Then let us like apply the style bg color green yellow. Did you see this? Did you see what has happened here? For seeing the changes, let me do one thing. Let me like so here what is happening? The first is a div tag, the second is a p tag, the second is a span tag. Here for a div tag, when you apply background color, it is being applied to the whole width of the page. But here, see, the sentence is ending here, and the background color is being applied only till there. It is limiting to the length of the sentence, right? That is called as span, and this is called as inline. Like if it is like wrapping the text and it is not, it is limiting to the length of the sentences or length of the element, and it is called as inline. That is all about span tag. And yeah, CSS and span, we did background color. Let me do this. Let us play with some span tags. This is span 1. This is span 2. It is aqua. See the, yeah. So what happened is previously when we wrote two div tags, like there are the two div tags here. Yeah. When we wrote two div tags, it is like one after another, it is being displayed. Since it is taking the whole width of the page, it is like one after the divs will be displayed one after another. But here, span, when we write two spans together, what happens is, since it is taking only the length of the element, the second span element will be displayed to the next of it. It is not like there is no break line between two spans, and there will be a continuous displaying of span elements if written together. That is one point. And yeah, this is all about span tag and div tag. If you want to know more, you can like go to what is this? MDN docs, web docs, and there you can many things. Like just go into it and find the, like you have something called a search here. Span. Yeah, span. You will get the span content. It's like it is a generic inline container for phrasing content, which does not inherently represent anything. It can be used to group elements for styling purposes, as I said, using class or ID. I'll tell you that soon. And it should semantic property. It is very much like a div element, but div is a block level element, whereas span is an inline element. So this is all about like the difference between div and span. Now let us apply the concept of class to divs. Now let us remove this inline CSS and give some class for it. Class equal to div1, and let us write internal CSS, like put the style tag and write the CSS rules dot div1, because it is a class. Um while writing the class name, you have to like put dot here because it is a class. And let me write another class div2 with background color as brown. Let me see the, I'm commenting the span and give a class for this. Class equal to div2. And now if I like save the content of the page, and I got like the first div1 is in aquamarine, div2 is in brown color. And the same with span. You can remove this, give a class for it, span1, and here span1, and there is something other called as span2, which is yeah, the color is let me make it as violet. Let us make it as violet. And this, let me remove the styling and give it class of span2. And now let us see the changes. Yep. Here the span1, like this first span tag is of span1 class, and the second span tag is of span2 class. So, and the styling is being applied accordingly to their classes, respective to their classes. This is about like using CSS on div and span, and like the names are of your choice, guys. Here I took it as div1 and div2. You can like take it as like Marvel, comics, and here all that you need to do is change it here. And one thing about class is that it is a reusable thing. So if you want like to use that class, you can use it. I'm using this Marvel and comics things again, so it, like to show the reusability property. And here see, the first div is given Marvel class, the second div is given comics class, and the first span is given Marvel, the second span is given comics. So here the class names can be reusable. So this is all about CSS on div and span. Now let's go into margin and padding. Margin and padding. So let us um change the names. Okay, now it's all set. Let us write a div tag of class margin. Like, I have a shortcut for you guys. Like, if you have to write, if you want to write a div with some class called as margin class, then you can write like div dot margin, and you will be getting the code snippet. Div class equal to margin, and here in the margin thing, you can write lorem. Let's say it will be 45. Yes. So you have something called as margin, but you want to separate it from this span, from all this content, the first content. What can you do? You can just add something called as margin, dot margin, and there is a property called as like margin top. It says like how much pixel you want your margin to be. Right? Did you get the point? Like margin is nothing but the space, like the separating space between two elements. Margin is nothing but the space of separation of one element from another. That is like this since it is a space, it should be like given in pixel. Units are pixel or percentage, or if it is of height, then we can use VH. If it is of width, then we can make it as view width, VW. And if it is, you can also have something called as EM. I want you people to explore the units. I'll tell you, but I want you to explore. So this is like here. If you can see, this margin content is being separated from the span content. The above element for this margin is for this class margin class is span. So this content is being separated from the span, from the immediate above element, with a top margin of 45 pixel. Now you have something called as margin also. When you write margin, it is like a generic thing. Like if you write only margin, then it will be applied for margin top. It will be applied for margin top, margin bottom, margin left, and margin right. All of them will have the value of 45 pixel, and all of them will have the value of 45 pixel. The margin class will have 45 pixel. See here, you can see there is a margin left, there is a margin top, there is a margin right also, and there is a margin bottom also. And if you want only left, then you specify it. We'll get only margin left. Let us make it as margin, and let us do one thing. I don't know if it works or not, but let us try. There is something called as padding. What is padding? Padding is nothing but it is a space. Like here we told that margin is the space between elements, right? But here it is padding is space of separation between the container and the content. If you want me to display, if you want me to prove that margin is different from padding, let me do one thing. Let me give let me give the background color for this as pink. Okay, and remove the padding. When I remove the padding, what happened is here, yeah, the margin is being applied. The margin top is being applied, margin left is being applied, um yeah, margin top is being applied, margin left is being applied. Here you can see margin right is also being applied, margin bottom will also be applied. But what the thing is that when you write padding, when you are like when you include padding, you're getting a space between the container, the whole like the whole pink thing is the container, and the inside thing is content. You are getting a separation between like in between the container and the content, and it is called as padding. Even in padding you have things like padding top. It gives only padding between the like the top, the container. It gives only the space between up of the like content, like only the top of the container and the content. If you want it to be bottom, you can have it. There will be a bottom padding. If you want it to be left, there will be a left padding. If you want it to be right, there will be a right padding. So it is like that. It is like the inner the property of inner content. Padding is like that. And even padding and margin are like units of distance kind of thing, the length kind of thing. So the units will be same. Margin, in the same way as margin, there is something like it is padding. You have padding top, you have padding bottom, you have padding left, and you have padding right. So this is all about padding. And yes, guys, this is all about padding and margin and padding.